the man, the myth, the legend, double icon legend, Mr. Max Mills.
Here we are, my friend. Long-awaited interview.
What a year it's been for you.
Yeah, last couple of years have been really good, so I can't complain. Hoping for an even better year this year. So we're pretty excited.
I see you outdoor knocking, flyer in, still putting in the graft, man.
Yeah, I'm getting back to my roots there. I have a pretty hefty goal this year, so I have to kind of combine what I did the last 2 years, and then I'll be talking to you about some leads. I'm going to get back into a little bit of calling too. So
yeah, no drama, man. Whenever you're ready, man. But I just want to take you back to the beginning, because obviously I get to see, you know, and I'll be honest, Max, you really inspire me, mate. I loved seeing you. I like your camaraderie with Getty. It's the bromance we didn't know we needed. And it's really engaging. It's really captivating. And I love, the fact that I'm, and as I say to all of our team and our clients, is that we've got such a great network of amazing real estate professionals. And I want to create a resource of maybe for people that want to get started, maybe, not quite at the 6-figure level, and to be able to tell your story. And, because everybody starts at zero. And, with that said, kind of, let's just go back to the beginning. How did you get into real estate?
Yeah, like a lot of people start at zero. I started with even less than that. So I was working on the rigs for 7 years, and then I just realized that there was no success story up there. I knew I had to do something with this little bit of money that I was saving. I was doing a lot of traveling, so that was kind of my first priority. So I started to kind of tier out and look at investment properties. So I started looking at Calgary, Alberta. I just ended up buying 2 condos in the city here, and I became kind of obsessed in the process with it. And I started asking my realtor more and more questions, as I wanted a way out of the rigs. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So I started becoming more and more interested in real estate. And then he ended up offering me a job. He said, if you could finish your license, I think you'll be really good at this. So I kind of picked his brain for the next year and a half. I was working the rigs and working on the course, and then I finally finished it. And I called him for my job. I'm like, where the fuck's my job at? So he ended up, his team was full at the time. He couldn't accept any more agents. But he ended up hooking me up with another guy at his brokerage that was starting a team. So I went and did that for a year. Unluckily, I got kind of bound in a contract that was not in my favor, heavily in his. I just overlooked the contract. I was super excited to have a job. I was just like, literally quit the rigs. Not quit. I ended on very good terms. So I left that day and I started the next day in real estate. So I lined it all up that it was just a smooth transition. But anyways, the year, tough. COVID just hit. So we only really sold for half the year, as the world was obviously in fucking shambles. But it was a tough year. Yeah, I didn't make fuck all for money because he took, I think it was 65%.
Holy shit.
Of the commission. So and then there was other like underlying fine print. I just got fucked anyways. Yeah. I don't want to go too much on that. And then I started kind of sourcing out other brokerages. I knew this. I was dying where I was. Like my bank account was at zero. I'm like, I really have to. I have to make a change, right? Because
this isn't working.
Or I go back to the rigs. And I was like, I don't feel like I gave this enough to just quit. So I kind of started outsourcing on Instagram. A couple teams were following me and they're trying to pillage me onto their team. And I had a good relationship with 1 or 2 of them. And I just told them straight up, I'm like, I'm not joining your team. I actually want to start a team of my own. And the guy was super cool. He gave me a bunch of knowledge on kind of how he did it and what brokerage he would go to and wouldn't go to. So I've been hearing a lot about EXP and the stock options and revenue share were kind of, it just seemed too good to be true. I'm like, why is everyone not at EXP? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. And then I would ask these guys at my brick and mortar brokerage, the first one I started at, and they're like, oh no, they had all this bullshit information about EXP. My team lead obviously wanted to keep me or something, right? He's like, oh no, it costs $8,000 just startup fee. So I was like, oh, fuck that. And then I started hearing more and I saw more and more signs. I'm like, there's no way that people pay $8,000 for a startup fee. That's fucked. So I looked into it. All that, the rumors and shit about it were such bullshit. I'm happy that I caught on to that as soon as I did in my career. And then I just asked Dusko. So he led me. Dusko was with Remax. Now he's with Real. He just kind of told me about Sean Getty. He had free training at EXP. So they're buddies or whatever. So I looked into Sean's training and I'm like, this is everything I'm looking for. I think what I'm lacking most is a social media presence. And I know that's something that I need to incorporate in my business. So yeah, we reached out, we hit it off. And then I switched over a year and 1 day after my contract was up with that other team. And then the rest is kind of history with Sean Getty. Yeah.
Love that. So you joined the Getty group, and how long then till you became the team lead?
It was like 3 months or something.
Yeah.
So I joined
So you hit the ground running. He could tell that you were really on it and wanted to learn, and gave you that authority early on.
Yeah. So in the first, I think it was 3 months, I popped off for 11 or 12 deals, and it all came from door knocking and just grinding, right? So I think he saw that. And then obviously my previous knowledge in cold calling from the year before, it all kind of rounded me into a pretty well-rounded realtor. So I think he saw that and he saw I was hungry for it. So he asked me to come run his real estate team with him. So I think it was like 14 months into my career, I was running a real estate team.
Amazing. And of course that's what you wanted in the beginning, and now you were doing it, with a successful realtor. That's amazing. And how did you find that? How did you find the team dynamic of, running a real estate team? How does that, because I guess when you're giving so much, to other people to get their production up, does your production take a hit?
Yeah, definitely. Like I still did a great year. I think I did 35 deals while running the team with him. And yeah, I think I could have done like what I did this year. Probably, I think in my first year, I could have done 50 with them. So I did 57 this year, but I think I definitely could have done that if I didn't have to pour into these agents. But I like teaching, and because Getty taught me everything I know, right, about this. So I'm like, I have to pay it forward. I felt this obligation. And then, it was tough. It was tough to see like me care about people's business more than they cared about it. So for me, it was just, like detaching that emotion from it and kind of realizing that people aren't going to be what you think their potential is. And a lot of people are content with that, and that's totally okay, right? But I also did learn a lot because I was helping them with their deals. So in that year, I probably like negotiated and helped these people through like 100 deals throughout the year. So it actually improved me as a realtor tenfold as well. So it was definitely a win.
Then you were putting out all of those fires and solving all of those problems for everybody else that essentially made you a better realtor, and allowed you to sharpen your tools so you could, chop down trees twice as quick.
Yeah. And so exactly. And like leading a team wasn't new to me because I was on the rigs, and I worked my way up 3 tiers in like the first 8 months on the rig. So I was running a drilling rig with my driller. And like I was running, at 21, I was running 45-year-old men around screaming at them like what to do. Obviously, it's not what you do in real estate. But like leading a team and having that, I had that atmosphere and experience from a very young age with the rigs. So all kind of led to where I am now.
Yeah. And how are you finding, because I know there's a lot of controversy in EXP, and I've been to EXP Con myself and seen for myself, but I know a lot of the newer cloud-based brokerages, they get a bit of a bum rap, but on paper they seem to be because I guess it's the traditionalists against the new age realtor. And I found that when I went to NAR, which is National Associations of Realtor, was very, very traditional, and maybe social media and the new age realtor maybe is not that kind of crowd. When I went to EXPCon and it was all about social media, everyone had a camera, everyone was kind of, it's all about personal brand, all about marketing, all about promotion. It's really interesting how different those camps are, and quite often they go at loggerheads, especially the old school guys that kind of vilify these new brokerages that are coming through, but ultimately you get a better deal. And what we are seeing now is, these larger brokerages that have essentially been set in their ways for a long time and now seeing the light. We've had Kerry Scholl, who's a $1 billion agency owner, just recently joined EXP. One of our larger clients at the moment has been tapped up by EXP and is currently doing her US license. It's yet to be announced, so I can't really, say who that is. But now they are recognizing the opportunity in EXP just from a coaching standpoint and inducting those people into your downline, giving them coaching because, of course, then you get, profit share.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, the big thing with EXP was when I was looking, it was first to market. So I'm like, they've kind of already worked out the kinks. There's other great brokerages too. Real seems pretty good, but
that seems to be the new kid on the block. So at all of the conferences I go to, they've got the biggest stand, they've got the most kind of glamour, and they're really trying to sell themselves at the moment. But they seem very similar in the offering.
Yeah, and I don't even know if I would go back to that. If I was you asked previously. Did you ask if I was to switch brokerages, where I would go to? Did you ask that yet?
Yeah. So that's one of our questions that we usually ask is, if you weren't at your current brokerage, where would you go?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I would go to Real. It's just so similar. I would probably go to a boutique brokerage. I think with the knowledge and what I have now, they would offer me obviously something quite good. But as a starting agent, building a team, that kind of thing, EXP's it's kind of the no-brainer. To be honest, they're first to market. Real's cool, almost identical, in the tiering of the rev share, but they haven't worked out the kinks yet. I think they'll have more growing pains as they get bigger, etc. Right? EXP's worldwide. I don't even know how many countries we're in now, but they've worked out all the kinks. So it's very smooth. EXP, nobody bothers me. I just do my own thing. I think I've talked to the broker 2 times in a year. Everyone leaves me alone. It's just smooth, right? Yeah.
And what I like about EXP is the amount of the amount of co-working and not necessarily people in your team. It's very inclusive, but also the amount of online training there is. So I've had the benefit of being able to go into some of the portals. I know there's a multiverse where you walk around as a little mini me, and also, as I say, the collision and the collusion rather of other team members and how helpful everyone is, regardless of whether you're in their downline or not.
Yeah, it's the collaboration is crazy with EXP, right? And the training, of course, there's unlimited training courses that you can do, right? That's kind of how EXP tiered the brokerage, right? You want to help the people under you. You want to see them, and it benefits you if they're doing better as well. So the whole system is just based on collaboration and helping each other out. I needed that. I didn't need hand-holding any of that. I just needed a little bit of direction on, hey, how does the social media game work? And that was kind of the avenue. And then I learned, I didn't even know about door knocking, right? I thought door knocking was a joke, ended up being by far my most successful thing in my business. So
So and with that said, so if you were starting from zero and everything that you know now, where would you, if say for example, what advice do you give to a new realtor coming onto your team? Kind of what's maybe the 3 most tangible and actionable things that you can give them? I guess door knocking would be number 1, and what does that entail?
So door knocking for me would be number 1 because it's your most immediate business. You're going to see returns in 3 months. You close deals in 3 months if you give her. Door knocking by far. If you're a brand new agent, I think any agent, it's you're leaving a lot of opportunity on the board if you're not door knocking. And then I think social media to build my presence and actually get deals from it took me about a year. So actively working on the social media. And then 3 would be having intent in my business. So even though I would go out, nobody knew I was a realtor, right? Before, I don't bring it up. It comes up in conversations because my intent is to have more conversations with people. So if I'm out and about, you know what? I do want them to know I'm a realtor. And usually it does come out. And I enjoy talking to people and having good conversations. I've met some of the coolest people by having intention in my business. To grow it that way. I've met some very good friends and it's turned out very well for my business. So I strongly believe in the more hands More hands you shake, more deals you're going to do. So even an example with that, the year before, I didn't really have intention with my business. I was just like more online, thought cold calling, whatever. This year that all kind of changed. The last year went to the dog park. I think I've done 10 deals out of the dog park now, but I went up to this woman. We had a very good conversation. She was super cool. She ended up buying 5 houses off in like, it was like an 8-month period. So wow. If I didn't have that intention to start more conversations, and it's not greasy, like trying to get real estate out of it, again, because I do like talking to people, getting to know them, it worked out, and it usually does work out that way. So I'm a strong believer in that, having intention in your business, your social media, doing video tours of properties and your listings, getting your face out there, your authentic presence has been one of my biggest factors in my business. And then door knocking. And why I love door knocking is you're face to face with them. There's no better interaction than somebody meeting you. Phone calling is like cold calling is amazing. Like I had good success in that my first year. But door knocking, you're right in front of them, right? There's less obligation. Like they can slam a door, but you can kind of catch them with one-liners, right? To bring value to them. Whereas on a phone, there's like click by, you're like, fuck. So yeah. Those would be my 3. But now I am bringing back cold calling. So I need to do the 4 pillars of my business. I have 3 got me to 57 deals. If I want to catch Sean Getty over 100, I have to do everything. So in that aspect, I would say those 4 would be my biggest.
Love it, man. Wicked. What's the biggest deal you've ever done?
So from door knocking, I got a decent one. What was it? So it was a sell from door knocking. It was pretty sweet. So I sold theirs for $750, and then they bought 1.7, I believe it was, from door knocking. So it was like a 40K deal.
Amazing.
So, yeah, just from that one. Knock it on one door, right?
Yeah.
And I've done like quite a few, right around like 1 to that biggest one in between there. But I haven't really hit luxury that much. It hasn't been my main focus, as I've been trying to get volume on the most converting houses. Again, most of my business comes from social media, so my sphere, and then my door knocking. So what I'm door knocking is probably 500 to $1 million. So in between there is where most of those deals came from.
Wow, amazing. And what do you like most about being in real estate?
The uncapped potential. So this is why I got into sales and why I loved real estate. Is at any other job, a corporation, they are telling you how much you're worth, right? So real estate, if I want to go make $5 million with this cell phone that I'm pointing at right now, I can go and do that in 1 year. I 100% can. You know what I mean? So it's this uncapped potential that as hard as you want to work is what you're going to get paid. So if you see somebody making 80K a year, fuck, I can tell you they only work a couple hours a day. You see somebody making 500, they're probably working 6 to 8. Sean Getty, those guys in the million, John Size, GSB, Mike Sherrard's, those guys, they're probably working 12 to 16-hour days, right? So it's crazy to see that, but I'm a strong believer in that. But yeah, that would be why I love real estate.
Love that, man. And what do you like least about being in real estate?
Well, like where I came from, like the job that I did from the oil rigs and like just doing labor. My dad was an arborist, so he cut trees down. Like I've always done intense physical labor, and the rigs, you're working 12-hour days. Real estate, like I made almost 500K last year. I probably only worked 6 hours a day, right? Wow. So it's like, there's honestly fucking nothing I don't like about real estate. It's a grind. Like if you're not the turnaround rate, I think the fail rate's like 92% in the first 2 years. So it's not for everyone. But if you can hustle and like just stay on top of yourself because you don't have a boss, nobody pecking down on you, watching you, if you can self-manage yourself and keep yourself disciplined and consistent, you can make a lot of money. There's not anything I don't like about real estate, to be honest. Because again, I came from these jobs that you actually had to work hard physical labor for 12 hours. Real estate has been pretty gravy. Yeah, but to answer that question, I don't really not like anything about real estate.
You genuinely love it. It comes across that you're super grateful for the opportunity, to the fact where you can just say this smartphone can be worth 500K a year, or it can be worth 5 million a year. It's up to me how I use it.
Yeah.
Love that, man. That is some real stuff. When you look at it like that, perspective, then, you know what I mean? It's just like the world is your oyster.
Yeah, exactly. And that's like people ask me, they're like, oh, like, how can't you catch Sean? I'm like, I'll catch Sean, but that guy works twice as hard as me. And the results are proven, right? He made 1.1. That doesn't come from doing nothing, right? That comes from fucking grinding. So to me, I hold myself accountable, knowing that I have to do more if I want to hit 7 figures.
100%, man.
Yeah, I've come to that realization, and that's something I want to do this year, and I'm gonna do it. So that will entail me having to sacrifice more, less trips, longer days, more door knocking, back to cold calling, all that shit. I have to do it all, right? But again, that's holding yourself accountable to what you want out of it. If you want to make 100K, that's dope. That's cool. Like, if you want to make $1 million, you better fucking get working.
100%.
But it's for everyone, for anyone and everyone, right? That's the coolest part.
Yeah, definitely, man. Have you been to any real estate conferences or events or anything?
No, I haven't. That's something that I kind of wrote down on my board. That's something I need to do more of, just for the collaboration and yeah, within the business, something that I need to do. Coaching and mentoring you need it. You look at the best athletes in the world, they have coaches. Muhammad Ali, best boxer, had a coach. You know, yeah. Michael Jordan had a coach. It doesn't matter. You need, and at those conferences, there's people where I want to be. So now you need to start surrounding yourself with those people to elevate your business there. So
yeah,
I will.
And how pivotal has mentorship been in your business?
Oh, I wouldn't be here, right? Like, I thought the cap of my business, like when I started real estate, I'm like, if I made 250K, like, to me, that was just crazy. Like, where I come from, like, that's only like doctors and shit. Like, well, like a starting doctor, or like lawyers. I'm like, that's fucking insane. If I could make that in the peak of my career, and then I went and did it my first year with Getty, I blew that out of the water, which is fucking crazy. But yeah.
Love that. How many deals did you do in 2022?
That's last year, 57. Yep. 57.
How many do you want to do in 2023?
I have 80 on my board, but that doesn't even really scare me, that goal. So I might up it. I think your goals have to scare you a bit. 80, I know I'll do 80. I think I have to up that to 100.
Love that. Love that. Cool, man. We're gonna wind down with a quick fire round. So you haven't done an event or a conference. Tom Ferry or Mike Ferry?
Tom Ferry sucks. So Mike Ferry.
Old school. TikTok or Reels?
Reels.
EXP or Reel?
EXP. By a long shot.
Facebook or Instagram?
Instagram by a mile.
Looks or personality?
Personality. Looks will fade away. Personalities for life.
Love that. New York or LA?
LA.
Gary Vee or Grant Cardone?
Oh, that's a tough one. Fuck, that's a good one. Probably Cardone, because he's more real estate based. Although he can say some outlandish shit sometimes, but I do like him. I love both of them. Gary Vee's the man too, but I have to go with Cardone.
Yeah, that's it. Positive or negative?
Positive.
Love or fear?
What was it? Love
or fear?
Love.
Peace or war?
Peace.
Max, you've been a great guest. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my man. Thanks for having me.
And look forward to crushing it in 2023 with you, sir.
100%. I'll reach out to you for some of those leads.
Definitely, bro. Whenever you're ready, man.
What's your goals for the year?
200K per month.
Fucking right.
So we're at 130 at the moment. So we're currently scaling up. So we're spending more on ads. And we got a coaching arm coming in. So Getty's going to come and coach for us. Tatiana, we're talking with John Sy at the moment, and Dave Hutch. So, you know, and you if in the event that you want to come and give your time, you know what I mean? I think you've got a lot to give, Max. And as I say, the passion definitely comes out in you as well, mate.
I appreciate it. We'll talk more about that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Cool, bro. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it, man. I know you're super busy. We tried to arrange this umpteen times, and I appreciate spending the time, man.
Cheers, Jamie. Appreciate it.
Take care, bro.